Dear students, I am Sanju Hazdia, Assistant Professor of English at Government College Ratangad. Today I am going to explain preface and first two stanzas of this poem. This poem is the love song of the Alfred Prufrock by T.S. Eliot, and this is included in BA Part 2nd Paper First by Maharaja Ganga Singh University, Bikaner. So first of all, preface of this poem. This preface is in Latin language. Sio credesse se mia riposta fosse e persona se mai tornese al mando. Questa fiamma setaria senza più sose ma persiose GME di queste fondo non torno vivo elken siodo il vero senza tema di infamia ti rispondo. So this preface in this poem is taken from Dante's Inferno, chapter number 27. Dante has encountered in hell a character called Guido di Montefeltro, who asks him for the news of Italy, which Dante gives. Then he is asked in return to disclose what has brought him to hell, which he agrees to do, though only on the assumption that Dante is another lost soul who will never return to tell of Guido's shame. The epigraph then suggests a confession. So this epigraph is taken as a confession, but one in which there is something which ought to be hidden from us. The confession is made under the impression that Dante himself has come there after death and cannot go back to the earth to betray his secrets. So the words spoken by him from the epigraph. So first, Sio credesse se mia riposta fosse means if I thought that my reply would be someone who would ever return to earth. So it is said, Sio credesse se mia riposta fosse means he can't return to the earth because he has come there after death. So if I thought that my reply would be someone who would ever return to earth, a persona, a character, a person, se me tornese al mondo means questa fiamma steria senza più sose. This flame would remain without further movement. Okay, so this flame would remain without further movement, but as no one has ever returned alive from this gulf, no one can return alive from this gulf. Ma periciose GME di queste fondo. So if what I hear is true, non torno vivo elken siode il vero, so I can answer you. Senza tema di infamia ti rispondo. So I can give response you without the fear of infamy, because you can't return to the earth and you can't open my secrets on the earth. So I can give you response without the fear of infamy. I think you understood it, and now we are heading towards the first stanza of this poem. Let us go then, you and I. When the evening is spread out against the sky like a peasant etherized upon a table, let us go through certain half-deserted streets, the muttering retreats of restless nights in one-night cheap hotels and sawdust restaurants with oyster shells, streets that follow like a tedious argument of insidious intent to lead you to an overwhelming question. Oh, do not ask, what is it? Let us go and make our visit. In the room, the women come and go, talking of Michelangelo. So, poet says, you and I, the narrator. Who is the narrator of this poem? You know very well, narrator is Prufrock. Let us go then. You and I. You and I. These are two interpretations of you and I. You may mean Prufrock's companion, or you and I may mean Prufrock's two selves. So let us go then. Let us therefore go together, you and I. Hint that the pronouns represent the tragic figures, two selves, the amorous and the timid, whose turpitude is at the root of his indecision. You, the romantic self, and I, the realist self. When the evening is spread out against the sky, when the evening is spread against, when the darkness of the evening spreads over the sky, like a patient ethized upon a table. Ethized means anesthetized. And so, like a patient who is made unconscious with anesthetics while lying on a table, the patient is Prufrock himself. So, let us go through certain half deserted streets. So, let us go. He is saying again, let us go. In the evening time, half deserted streets means in the evening time the people leave the streets and go home. The muttering retreats streets. So through certain half deserted streets means streets which are the retreats of muttering people who pass restless nights in cheap hotels whose rooms are rented out for one night, and in restaurants covered with sawdust and oyster shells are now deserted. Half deserted means almost lovely roads lined with houses. The muttering retreats, cheap hotels where the visitors mutter in their sleep. Muttering retreats means is an example of transferred epithet, transferred an adjective from the word it qualifies. Of restless nights in one night cheap hotels. Of restless nights, the people who cannot afford paying for good hotels spend their nights in cheap hotels, but they do not get adequate rest and sleep. And sawdust restaurants with oyster shells. Sawdust restaurants, cheap and dirty restaurants, the floors of which are covered with sawdust. Restaurants with sawdust on the floor. The floors in rich houses and good hotels have carpets for safety from cold. Streets that follow like a tedious argument. Streets that follow each other like a tedious argument. Streets which follow one another are like the never ending argument because the destination is unknown. Of insidious intent. Of insidious means concealed, intent means purpose. So their purpose is insidious, concealed, to lead you to an overwhelming question, and to lead you, to take you overwhelming question, the question of great importance. The real question is the marriage proposal, but it is not revealed in the poem. Oh, do not ask what is it. So, oh, don't ask. Do not ask what is it. Prufrock does not wish to tell anyone the purpose of his visit. Let us go and make our visit. And let us go and make our visit. Prufrock plans to go to the ladies' room. In the room, the women come and go, talking of Michelangelo. Make their visit to the party room where women are coming and going, talking of a grand subject like the great Italian painter Michelangelo Trivoli. This indicates the shallowness of the societies and socialites. Means Michelangelo, he was a great Italian painter of the 16th century. The ladies talk of Michelangelo but do not know much about his art. This is a satire on the pretensions of modern ladies. So let us go and make our visit. In the room, the women come and go, talking of Michelangelo. Prufrock invites his companion or his other self to visit a room where a party has been going on. He has to propose to one of the ladies there. He wants to propose one of the ladies there. The time is evening and they have to pass through labyrinthine streets with cheap hotels on their sides. He does not want to tell anyone the question and simply express his desire to go there. He wants to conceal the question. He seems afraid. He is timid and has no courage. So I think you understood this stanza, and now the next stanza. The yellow fog that rubs its back upon the window panes, the yellow smoke that rubs its muzzle on the window panes, licked its tongue into the corners of the evening, lingered upon the pools that stand in trains, fall upon its back, the soot that falls from chimneys, slipped by the terrace, made a sudden leap, and seeing that it was a soft October night, curled once about the house and fell asleep. The yellow fog that rubs its back upon the window panes. The yellow fog is spreading. Now it is described the yellow fog that rubs means that like a cat rubs back upon the window panes. It is rubbing upon the window panes. The yellow smoke that rubs its muzzle means nose and mouth on the window panes. So the yellow smoke is everywhere. So the yellow fog that rubs its back upon the window panes, it is rubbing its back upon the, and the yellow fog is compared with the cat which is rubbing its back upon the window panes, and the yellow smoke that rubs its muzzle, its nose and mouth is rubbing on the window panes. Licked its tongue, it is licking with its tongue into the corners of the evening. Into the corners of the evening means of the house in the evening. Lingered upon, it is lingering. It is staying upon the pools that stand in the drains that are dry, that the pools are dry. Let fall upon its back the soot that falls from chimneys. Let fall upon its back. Its back means cat's back. The soot, black powder like substance falling from the chimneys. Slipped by the terrace, it is slipping from the terrace. It is coming from the terrace, made a sudden leap, and it is making a sudden leap, and seeing that it was a soft October night. And when it is seen that it is very soft, it is very cozy October night, curled once about the house and fall asleep. Curled about the house. Once about the house means settled down on the house. The fog covered the house from part to part like a cat wandering from place to place and sleeping at last. The images of evening as patient, streets as argument, and fog as cat reflect the positivity of Prufrock. Man and his surroundings are in tune with each other. Later in the projection of the former, all are indulging in restless rest. So the yellow fog spreads across the window panes, corners of the house, pools that are dry, chimneys and terrace, and ultimately settle down on the whole house. The yellow fog is compared with a big yellow cat, another example of a metaphysical conceit. So I think you understood it, and I will explain next stanzas in my next video. Thanks for watching this video.